It's Wednesday, June 14th. I'm Jasmine Anderson. Good morning. Topping your headlines, former President Trump is blasting his federal indictment today. Trump, the first former president to face a judge on federal charges, pleaded not guilty in a Miami courtroom yesterday. He's facing 37 felony counts, accused of hoarding classified documents and refusing government demands to give them back. Trump, who turns 77 today, was defiant in a speech at Bedminster last night.
This is called election interference and yet another attempt to rig and steal a presidential election. More importantly, it's a political persecution like something straight out of a fascist or a communist nation.
It's unclear when the case will be back in court. So what does the Trump indictment mean for Long Island? Newsday's columnist Joy Brown explains.
Donald Trump has enjoyed considerable support on Long Island. He took Suffolk County 2 times. He came really close in Nassau County. So yes, there are going to be a lot of Long Islanders keeping an eye out on what is happening in Miami. Both county leaders have been great supporters of Donald Trump. Both county leaders have managed to make their counties redder over the last couple of years with a Trump-run Republican Party. And Donald Trump, as the forerunner in the national election, we're going to see Long Islanders play a role in there too. Joe Cairo, the head of the Nassau County Republican Party, has just been named to the National Republican Committee. So yes, there's a lot for Long Islanders to take a look at here in Miami and to keep up with what's going on in Miami.
Joy Brown reporting there. Stay with Newsday for the latest on the Trump indictment. We'll have breaking developments on Newsday.com, here on NewsdayTV, and on our mobile app. First in Newsday, a new plan to boost the affordable housing and help homeowners, but not everyone's on board. Sherry Einhorn reports.
I love Huntington. I had my first job here. I went to school here. I work here.
Veronique Daniel is a 22-year-old college graduate with a good job that she likes, but she's still living at home with her parents, which she likes a little bit less.
The price of an apartment is almost the price of a mortgage, so it just doesn't make sense to move out.
She's hoping the Huntington Town Board votes to approve legislation that would make apartments in detached garages and in basements legal, because she says it would give her more options.
Basement apartments used to be legal here in Huntington until 2019, when the town board at the time banned them.
Some longtime residents say the town is already crowded and claim allowing new apartments is a recipe for disaster.
The hospitals are full. The schools are going to be full. There's enough. We have enough. When is enough enough?
Please be respectful. Address your comments to the dais. And this is not.
So many people packed a public hearing at Town Hall that the room filled to capacity quickly, leaving others waiting on a long line for a spot to open up. The board also limited speakers to 1 minute, which frustrated the crowd.
I am not in support of watching our town turn into a little Queens. Yeah! That's what you're going to do!
Supporters on the town board strongly disagreed. Councilwoman Joan Sergel says there are about 2,200 accessory dwelling units in the town program compared to 70,000 homes.
Our ADU program, as I said, is a very limited program in terms of housing, and it's really intended more to help the homeowner than it is to address the affordable housing crisis.
Helen Boxwell turned her garage into a one-bedroom apartment back in 2003 and says the extra income definitely helps.
This was a win-win. I could provide housing for someone, and they could give me a little extra help with the mortgage.
In Huntington, I'm Sherry Einhorn for Newsday TV.
Read more about Huntington's basement apartment plan on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Ever want to own your own plane? Now's your chance. 3 Piper Aero training aircraft from Farmingdale State College's Department of Aviation are going up for auction on June 27th. Pre-bids on Perry Auction's website were at $15 per plane. Officials say the planes could fetch between $50 and $100,000. May the odds be in your favor.
Newsday.
Following a nearly 6-week search, the Rangers have named Peter Laviolette as their new head coach. He will replace Jared Gallant, who parted ways with the organization May 6. Laviolette is the winningest American-born coach in NHL history and won a Stanley Cup with Carolina back in 2006. A new Beatles song is on the way. Paul McCartney says it was created with help from artificial intelligence. The part-time Hamptonite told the BBC that AI was used to replicate the voice of the late John Lennon. The song is out later this year. Should be a good one. A sweet sign of the season set to kick off this evening on the North Fork. Tonight is Hulling Night for the 68th Mattatuck Strawberry Festival. Community members will gather to remove the stems on over 100,000 strawberries. The festival, which stars everything strawberries, food, rides, games, and craft vendors, runs through Sunday, and it should be a great time for the family, but you might want to bring the umbrella if you're headed to the festival tonight. Showers, gusty winds, and thunderstorms rolling in this afternoon. This is a look at Cooper's Beach in Southampton this morning. Highs around 72 degrees. Tonight, rain clears out and we drop down into the 50s. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, and we have highs around 79 degrees. Here's a look at your futurecast. You can see those showers and storms rolling through. A look at your 7-day forecast coming up.
Watch Newsday TV on the big screen. Use the remote to activate Siri, Alexa, Roku, or the Google Assistant on your streaming device. Say install Newsday. Newsday TV, covering Long Island like no one else can.
It's one of our most precious natural resources, and many Long Islanders still make a living on our waterways. Photojournalist Chris Ware shows us the work of an oyster farmer in our exclusive trade series.
My name is Jonathan Smith, and I am a Long Island tradesman. 1979, I went to Lummi Indian School in Washington State. That's where I learned aquaculture, oyster farming, and salmon ranching. I believe in the fact that our people here at Shinnecock were of the sea. We've been fishermen and whalers since time immemorial. I believe that that's where my passion comes from for oyster farming. Growing oysters in this trade provides food and a healing for other people. Being an oyster farmer is satisfying in its contentment that it brings me, the healing that it can bring, not only to myself, but to other people. Growing the oysters, I love every moment of it. And to actually make a living and to help sustain my, financially, my family is truly a blessing. This is something that you can take with you. You can take this trade and be anywhere with it. It's a satisfying life. It's a healing life.
A trade with a greater purpose. I love that. Watch one of our exclusive trades series on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. If you've ever wondered what it would be like to live in an enchanted garden, there's groundskeepers that do just that on Long Island. Rachel Weiss has the story you'll see only in Newsday.
Imagine living at one of Long Island's gorgeous arboretums or historic gardens. Well, these Long Islanders don't have to imagine. They live here in private houses on site, and they work here too. These employees take care of the property year-round for visitors like us. Meet Scott Lucas, greenhouse supervisor at Old Westbury Gardens. He lives in this English-style cottage just a few steps away from his workplace.
I've been here for about 24 years, working and living. My main responsibility is growing all the plant material here at Oyster Garden. So if you stroll through the different gardens, you'll see all the different annuals and perennials and trees and shrubs. And a lot of those, I would say probably about 80% of those, we grow here in the greenhouses.
Scott's home was completed at the same time as the iconic Westbury house on the premises in 1906. 10 other employees also live on the property in cottages like his.
This is the door that I had mentioned. It's the original door to the garden, so it's very kind of ornate and fancy.
One downside, sometimes visitors end up in his yard.
They're very curious, so they'll sort of peek over here even though we have a sign, or they'll come through.
But there are upsides too. No commute to work and seeing his hard work blossom.
The plants and flowers that Scott works on go from living here in the greenhouse to here at Old Westbury Gardens.
Scott's family were Dutch farmers and he was raised on an old farm upstate. So for him, the grass has always been greener because he's the one taking care of it. Rachel Weiss for Newsday TV.
A beautiful garden rooted in history. For more on the Long Islanders living at garden story, just go to Newsday.com, click Get More below the Newsday TV video box.
Get more of the stories you've seen on Newsday TV at Newsday.com. Plus breaking news, investigations, things to do, restaurants, and other Long Island news you can't get anywhere else. At Newsday.com, covering Long Island like no one else can.
I'm Jasmine Anderson. Have a wonderful Wednesday. Thanks for watching. We'll leave you with a look at your hyperlocal 7-day forecast.